Hey there, friends. Hey, welcome to this live stream on an alignment topic. Today, it's all about the masks we wear. Now, I was inspired to talk about this topic because it's very close to my heart. It's something that I have dealt with myself. It's something that I am so often talking about with my clients, and isn't it funny when it's a topic that is let me try and sit up here properly. When it's a topic that is something you need to learn about yourself, that's often what we get an opportunity to practice with. That's what I find anyway. The messages that I need to learn myself are the very ones that are constantly being brought to me in the form of my clients. So this is no different. So just the masks we wear. What am I talking about here? I think we're all trying to show up in the world in a particular way. You know, we're trying to be this person, this ideal form of ourselves, and oh my God, like social media is the classic kind of expression of it, where what and who we really are is often not what we're projecting. You know, we've got the hair just right and the makeup just right and all the good things and none of the bad things, or the opposite, all the bad things and none of the good things. You know, depending on what our predilection is. So anyway, that's what we're going to be talking about today. So I'm Kylie Ansett. I am the alignment whisperer, the whisperer to the wild ones, the weird ones, and the wonderful ones. That's you if you are watching. Welcome and thank you for being here. I'm coming to you live from Sydney, Australia, which I have behind me. It's not the real Sydney, Australia, but that is what it looks like. Although not today. Today it is grey and rainy, so it's kind of like a bit more of an indoor day. It's unusual for Sydney. It's the first rain we've had in months, so it's very welcome. Anyway, let's talk about this masks thing. Now, as I said, I was inspired to this because a beautiful, beautiful client that I'm working with, anxiety is something that she suffers with. Now, I'll be the first to admit that I have never suffered from anxiety in its kind of full-blown. Of course, I have been anxious, and of course, yes, I can tend to be a little bit stressed out at times, but it's probably not one of my biggest kind of things. I guess I find it a little bit easier to let things flow off my back like water off a duck's back, that kind of thing. But I do recognize the symptoms in myself when they start coming. I know how my body feels when anxiety kicks in. And of course, there have been times in my life where there's been more of that and less of that. Anyway, this particular beautiful client that I've been working with, this has been the bane of her life for a long time, for many, many years. And it's actually become her natural state. And I think that was a really interesting thing to uncover. Feeling anxious now feels more normal to her than not. Go figure. Anyway, so the way that she survives in the world is by putting on a mask, because she felt that if anyone was to see who she really was, like, it's a hot mess, and they couldn't. But don't look at this. So there's this very thick, opaque mask that she puts over it, you know, with plasters on the happy face. Now, what we discovered in working together, and as I said, because I've never really suffered from full-blown anxiety, even though I've worked with many clients with it, it was interesting to see that the exhaustion that she felt at the end of every day, because she was living with this mask that wasn't her, because she was pretending to be something that she wasn't, because she was hiding who she really was. in our work, now this is what I do in my one-on-one alignment coaching. We kind of, we were able to uncover what was beneath that mask. And I mean, it's an experiential thing. Of course, I can't really explain exactly how this all works, but basically I create a space that feels safe enough that the, you know, horrible monster that she thinks is beneath the mask is able to come out. And this was the aha moment for her and for me. The mask took masses and masses amount of effort to maintain, which was why she felt exhausted all the time. And the letting go of the mask was the effortlessness. And of course, and you know this, and I know this, and she knows this logically, she was not believing it. When the mask was let go, what was beneath was actually beautiful, was truly her true soul, and everyone's true inner self is pure and beautiful. And it's only these weird judgments that get layered onto us through our lives, and that we hold on to and think are true and give weight to when they don't deserve it. It's only those that kind of are holding us back. So the experience was this, the letting go of the mask. It was so much effort to maintain that mask. The letting go was just a massive relief. The letting go of it freed up so much energy. In fact, energized her. Just normal being alive is a energizing, it's something that gives you energy. It doesn't take energy from you. And if you're not trying to maintain a mask of trying to be something who you're not, then that energy is readily available to you at all times. That is your natural state. So in the session, she was able to see herself as that, as acceptable with no mask. What she feared, and I'm sure you can relate to this because I 100% can too, what she feared the most was that removing that mask would expose something ugly, something unacceptable, something that she was judging and that others would judge. That's what she thought was beneath the mask. Now, this was not coming from a place of, you know, conscious thought. This is deep subconscious stuff. And she'd never thought of it that way. So she'd never, the option was keep the mask up and be acceptable to society, or let the mask go and fall apart in a hot mess because what is under that mask is so unacceptable. That's what her subconscious, illogical, not even really verbalizing this, but that was what her thoughts were that those were the choices. The session that we had allowed her to experience the letting go of the mask and witnessing I mean, I call it perfection. She may not have been there yet, but it certainly wasn't despicable, unacceptable, you know, like, oh my God, falling apart, hot mess at all. But it was, from my perspective, it was perfection. That was her natural state. That was what it was. But what it felt like to her was ease. She said, I can't believe how easy this is. I can't believe how... I can't believe how much energy I have. That's what she said. She said, well, I don't recognize this feeling. I feel like I have energy. This was something that actually for 2 decades she had not experienced. So that is all of our natural state. And it takes effort to put a mask up. It takes effort to not be who we naturally are. And we do it because not because society doesn't accept us, but because we don't accept ourselves. I mean, it's as simple as that and as complex as that, because that's obviously a huge, huge topic. Now, I don't agree with or put any heed in psychoanalysis or counseling or anything like that, because I think that those things just dig into the problem, and the more you look at the problem, the less you'll find a solution. You do not find a solution by looking at a problem. And now I know that's kind of going against the normal way that we think things happen, but it doesn't work like that. And if you start applying this to your life, you will see just how it happens. So you don't get a solution by looking at the problem. So it's about understanding in this example, it's about understanding the perfection, the natural state, the true reality of who we are underneath that mask, and allowing that. Now, that is where the solution comes from. And for her, that solution was letting go of the mask. And she may only be able to do it for 5 minutes a day, or, like for brief moments of time. But the more she does it, the more it will feel natural. The more that this experience of feeling energized and feeling whole and feeling at ease, the more that will feel natural. And so I think that was a very powerful lesson for her. And for me, the lesson was that the ease that this takes, it's the efforting is where the problems come from, and it's the non-efforting, it's effortlessness. I've always loved that thought, but I've always bought into, as I'm sure you probably have too, I've always bought into that thought that, we have to effort, we have to do, we have to be active, we have to do this and that, and we have to, to anything that's worthwhile takes effort. Like, I think that's some saying, and that kind of thought is what holds us back. It does the opposite of what we want it to do. It actually impedes our ability to okay, let me put it another way. All that effort is just covering up what we really want, which is effortlessness. It's like this beautiful client whose natural state was something that was there and took no effort to be. The effort was covering it up. So in trying to achieve something, we actually put more work into that, and all it does is take us further away from it. This is something I've been playing around with for a while, and as you can see, I'm still kind of grasping the concepts. It's still a bit of it's still a work in progress, as everything is, as everything should be, but I'm enjoying playing in this space. And I would love to hear your comments. Tell me, if this is something that you have thought about, this concept of effortlessness, of not efforting, of dropping the mask, of being in that natural state, and how that is actually the way that we get energized, and how we get to where we want to go with no effort. Tell me if you've thought about this. I would love to hear your thoughts. I always enjoy reading and interacting with what you have to say. Thank you so much for playing with me here today, and thank you for being part of this project of creating our lives on purpose, of purpose. So thank you so much. I appreciate you, and I will speak to you again next time. Bye.